Okay, so back to what I was saying. Since we're judging by this, we can know that 0.1 times that by 100, we would get 10%. And we will move the decimal 2 times to the right because we have 2 zeros. Now, we would always times 100 no matter what. But let's try doing this, though. 10% equals 0.1, which we just did over here because we moved the decimal 2 times to the right. So if this was actually this, it would be like, but if we wanted to turn into a decimal into a fraction, that's what we do over here. But if we wanted to prove that 10% equals 0.10, if we could move it like this. 1, 2, 10%, like we just did over here. And if we want to do it for this one, for 0.28, 1, 2, add the percent sign. 1, 2, add the percent sign. See, it's 30%, 20%, 10%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%. Just move the decimal 2 times to the right. It's very simple. Now let's hop on over here, some exotic examples. We have 101%, and we're going to convert that into a decimal. So it's really simple, but all we have to do is, we could have done the same thing for this, but we're just going to be doing 101 divided by 100. And if we wanted to do that, we could do the decimal right here, move it 2 times to the left instead of the right. 1, 2, decimal. 1, 2, decimal. We would get 1.32 and 1.01. If we want to do over here, we could go 1, 2, decimal. 2.38, 2.38. Alright, now let's hop onto the real life problem. So Ken has $20. He spends 50% of it. How much does he spend? So if we knew he spent $20, we could put the $20 times it by the 50%. Now we do 20 times 50% as a decimal, as we determined here, 0.5. So if we did 20 times 0.5, we would get $10. So he spent $10 and kept the other $10 himself. Great job, everyone. We just finished section 3. We're hopping straight into section 4 right now, the final section. So everyone, this is multiply and divide fractions by percents. So basically, we're going to start off with the multiplying. It's very simple and very easy. So we have right here, I just wrote M for multiplication. But if we want to do this, we would do 50% of 5 over 10. So we know that we can determine over here that if we wanted to put 50%, we would put it over 100. We could divide 50 by both sides and get 1/2. So it could be 1/2 times 5/10. So we do the same thing we did last time, which is times side by side. 1 times 5, 5. 2 times 10, 20, and now we follow through and we reduce. 5 divided by 5, 1, 20 divided by 5, 4. That's our answer. Next one, 25% of 6/12. 25% could be also 1/4 if you do 25 over 100. Divide 25, divide 25. You would get 1/4. So instead of 25%, we write 1/4. And by the way, if you're asking why I always times, it's because for another word as of, it could also be multiplication. Because order of operations, some of them also have words to show. Because if it's like for addition altogether, the sum, or for subtraction, the difference. If you're seeing like the kind of pattern I'm trying to show right now. But since it's of, it's going to be multiplication. So now that we have our 1/4 times 6/12, we would do 1 times 6 times side by side, 6. 4 times 12, 48. Reduce down by 6 and get 1/7. Now if we want to do 10%, so we would do 10% of 3/5. And this one is 10 over 100, which if you reduce by 10, you would get 1/10. So 1 times 3, 3, 10 times 5, 50. Now M right here, so we're going to do 20% of 4/10. So 20% to 20 over 100, divide 10, 2 over 10, 2/10. 2 times 4, 8, 10 times 10, 100. Oh my god, wait, really? No, wait. Really sorry about that one, guys. I made a quick mistake here. I had to fix it real quick. But following through, 2 times 4, 8, 10 times 10, 100. Now, this is pretty big, but we can still reduce by 2, 4, 100 divided by 2, 50. And we can reduce by 2 again, 4 divided by 2, 2, 50 divided by 2, 25. So we would get 2/25. Sorry about that one. Now let's go to dividing fractions. So let's say we have 50% and we divide it by 2/3. So 50%, as we did over here, which is 1/2. So we did 1/2 divide 2/3. So what we did 1/2 times flip, keep 1/2, divide, switch the multiplication, flip to 3 over 2. 1 times 3, 3, 2 times 2, 4. 3/4 as a decimal would also equal, if you wanted that, 0.75, which is 75%. Now 25% divide 1/2 equal So we're 25%, 1/4 right here. Divide, 1/2, keep, switch, flip, 1/4 times, because multiplication, switch, 1/2, 2/1, 1 times 2, 2, 4 times 1, 4. And then if you reduce down by 2, you would get 1/2, which equals 0.5 or 50%. So, and also, if you're asking how I'm getting all these decimals, it's really because you can do 1 divided by 2 and you would get half. You could do 3 divided by 4 and you get 0.75 if you want to punch that into a calculator. But if I had like 2 stuff, like if I had like 2 of something and then I gave you 1 and I have 1, I basically gave you half of something. And you can use common sense and common knowledge for that too. But just just letting you know. But continuing, 10% divide 9/10 equal 1/10 divide 9/10. So 1/10 because 10 over 100, but divided by 10, you would get 10 divided by 10, 1. 100 divided by 10, 10. Divide 9/10. So keep, switch, flip, 1/10, switch, and then flip 10 over 9. 1 times 10, 10, 10 times 9, 90. Divide 10 both sides, you equal 1/9, which would also equal 0.11111, but you always, if it's repeating decimal, you write that little like dash, just letting you know in the future. Final example, 20% divided 6/10 equals 2/10 divided 6/10. So keep, switch, flip, 2/10 times, switch, flip, 6 over 10, 10 over 6. 2 times 10, 20, 10 times 6, 60. Divide by 20 on both sides, we would get 1/3, which equals 0.33333, but dash again. Alright everyone, that is the end of my video tutorial how to do all of those things. Thank you all so much for watching. I know it's been a while and I know you have stuff to do. So I appreciate you all watching and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.